Happy game day and welcome to the Unlimited Sports Preview Show. I'm Troy Marler, joined as always by Brady Alderson and Justice Rohde. Today on the show, we will have breakdowns of both Maryland and Nebraska,
as well as a look at the other Nebraska teams in action this weekend.
And no KRNU broadcast this week, but we will recap how former Huskers are doing early into the 2025 NFL season.
This is the Unlimited Sports Preview Show on Nebraska Nightly. Welcome back. All offseason, fans have been eager to see the improvement of the special teams under head coach Mike Eckler, and guys, they were out in full force last weekend. Yeah,
obviously the block punt. Ja'Cory Barney, he's been great. 192 punt return yards already. That's fifth in the nation, third in the Big Ten, and the Huskers already 2 block punts and 1 block field goal. It's a big turnaround from last season.
Barney would have had a punt return for a touchdown if it wasn't for a block in the back by Carter Nelson. But how about the kicking game as well? Kyle Cunanan, only 1 missed field goal all season. Special teams have been a premium. And how about Archie Wilson, the job he's done so far, taking over the punting duties?
Here's what Matt Rhule had to say about the unit after the win.
We came out, we said we were going to block a punt. Credit to Jameer Khan. You know, like he prepared all week to block that punt. We told the team he's going to block the punt. Not we hope he blocks the punt. Hey, go block the punt. We said he's going to block the punt. He blocked the punt. Carter scored the touchdown.
Flipping the page to this week now, and for Nebraska, it seemed like this offense was finally starting to hit their stride there in that fourth quarter.
Yeah, the only thing that really was hindering them in those sacks, obviously they gave up 7 2 weeks ago, 5 last week. We'll see if they can stop letting people get to the quarterback, and that's really when they exceed.
Yeah, DR15's kind of taking a sour note. He's already taken 15 sacks this year. They're going to have to do a better job keeping him clean. The short passing game, they've got to get Dane Key going, guys. Only 2 targets last week, no receptions. A big transfer from the SEC needs to make a big impact in College Park this weekend.
Yeah, one thing about Dane Key, Coach Hoverson on Tuesday added, maybe not had the production in the receiving side, but he had a couple nice blocks, especially that Emmett Johnson touchdown, that tied at 21 all. He was the block that kind of sprung that one. Dane Key definitely needs to see some more looks this weekend in College Park. And here's what offensive coordinator Dana Holgorsen had to say about the crew during Tuesday at media availability.
Personally, I like playing in other people's stadiums. I mean, nothing against ours. I love ours, but I just like to, kind of go into and I think, a lot of guys on the team feel the same way. Like we like to go into a different environment and kind of, step into deeper waters, so to speak.
It's Big Ten football that's going to be challenging every week. We know that. We realized that last week was challenging, and I was proud of how we worked ourselves out of some things to finish the way that we finished. Talk about one-score games all the time. That one wasn't.
Turn to the defense. It seems like we talk about it every week, and guys, they officially became the #1 pass defense in the country against Michigan State.
And the thing we've talked about is every Power 4 team they've played this year has had a really good rushing attack, but for the first time, Maryland has the second worst rush yards per game for a Power 4 team, so Nebraska can finally eat in that passing defense.
Yeah, and when you look at the pass coverage, really it's been veteran guys on the back end. Andrew Marshall, Sierra Wright, a redshirt freshman, and Donovan Jones. How about Williams Nwaneri in the pass rush side of things, leading the country with 6 pressures last week? And then a guy, Deshaun Singleton and Rex Guthrie have been all over from the rover positions.
Here's John Butler on the opportunity at hand for his defense this afternoon.
It's exciting to get on the road because, you really test yourself in the mettle of your defense. I've always believed that when you go on the road, you better pack your defense because that's just what you have to do. So excited about the challenge, and wherever it is, whether it's in College Park or State College or where we're going to Minnesota the next week, you gotta be ready to play.
He seemed like pretty athletic quarterback, like you said, bigger body, a little bit similar, athletic dude. So we want to just really take almost not the same approach, but we want to get to him early and affect them.
Once you do start to pull away, like you can't be, satisfied with just, okay, we got away with the win. Like it's about dominating even after, so you start to pull away. So I think that was the message that I wanted to tell to the team.
Back to last week, what did you guys see in the win over Michigan State?
I think this was a true testament to the new era of Nebraska football. Momentum had completely flipped in Michigan State's favor. When we've seen that in the past few years, once the momentum is gone, Nebraska's had no way of getting back into a game. And this time they reclaimed the momentum and found a way to win.
I think you saw a fast and free defense for the first time. It seemed like the defensive line was able to fill gaps. They were looking active. Deshaun McCullough, Williams Nwaneri were active off the edges. How about Elijah Judy coming up from the nose tackle spot, getting a sack? And offensively, they kind of clankered and clunked around for a little bit. But once they found their rhythm, that was an explosive, free-flowing offense.
Last weekend, Deshaun Singleton became the first Husker to win Big Ten Defensive Player of the Week honors since JoJo DeMann in 2021. He was also the first Husker since 2023 to tally multiple interceptions in a game.
Social media is a daily part of many college students' lives, something we've become used to, but it can also be overwhelming and draining. Studies show that taking regular breaks from social media reduces stress and improves mental health. Too much screen time has been proven to increase anxiety, while stepping away helps you reconnect with the world around you. Take a break. Protect your mental health.
The need for blood never stops. And at the Nebraska Community Blood Bank, your blood could help save lives. Right now, only 7% of the population donates blood. But imagine if there were more.
We're sitting at below a 7-day level of supply of all blood types across the board. So every blood type is important, and we need all donors of all types to come in and donate right now.
At the Nebraska Community Blood Bank, they believe that all types make a strong blood supply.
Many of the brands you love don't love animals like you do. Look at the labels of products you use for a bunny logo signifying they don't lab test on animals. Check the label for those who aren't able.
Welcome back as we now move to the Nebraska opponent, the Maryland Terrapins. And Justice, we start with an extremely athletic receiving corps.
Yeah, how about a receiving corps that has two guys over 300 yards receiving? Octavian Smith Jr., 19 catches, 324 yards. And then the big guy, Shalik Knott, 6'3", 305 receiving yards, 5 touchdowns. And then to kind of bring it up is Jaleel Farouk. He's got 233 yards. And the big tight end, Dorian Fleming, already got a couple of nabs, a little over 165 receiving yards. This is a big athletic receiving corps that gives Malik Washington a ton of weapons. They're guys that'll go possession catch. They'll go put their body in a defender, kind of play the basketball catch, try to win a 50-50 ball. It's a big athletic receiving corps that gives Malik Washington some easy targets to throw to.
Here's what Maryland head coach Mike Locksley had to say about how his team stacks up with the Huskers.
This week, I think we're a team that will match up evenly with this Nebraska team. They're super talented. Like I said, their quarterback is a guy that we've got to do a really good job of trying to affect. The McCullough kid that we saw and faced as a freshman at Indiana has now gone over to Nebraska, and he's a guy that shows up all over tape that we've got to do a great job of keeping our quarterback healthy.
One of the top defenses in the Big Ten today. The Terrapins are tied for second in the country in sacks with 19. They have shut out opponents in 11 of 20 quarters of play this season, and they have allowed only 10 total points in the first half this season.
A large part of the success of this pass rush is elite guys off the edge.
Yeah, it's a couple of elite guys. How about freshman Sydney Stewart and another freshman, Zahir Mathis, 6'4", 240 for Stewart, 6'6", 220 for Mathis. Both freshmen, 4.5 and 3.5 sacks respectively. These are guys, big, long, athletic, bend, rip, and dip edge rushers who have great length, great speed off of the edge. They get in outside the hip of the offensive tackle, and they create real problems with that length and that rip and dip pass rush move. They are a tough order, guys, and they are really, really big customers to deal with. Nebraska is going to have to place a lot of emphasis on putting them on the back heels and not letting them pin their ears back and get a free rush at Dylan Raiola.
One big thing when we talk about the edge rushers, Elijah Pritchett questionable, got hurt in practice earlier this week. Could be something to keep an eye on, especially with elite pass rush guys like Maryland has.
Yeah, Nebraska's offensive line has already showed that they'll struggle against a good pass rush, so we'll see if the Terrapins can take advantage.
Coming up after the break, we go around the corn and check out the other Nebraska teams in action this weekend.
Okay, so how about this much?
I don't know.
Well, how about this much?
I don't know.
How about,
Actually, I don't know.
okay, maybe this much?
I don't know.
The very tip of your pencil, a fraction of a raindrop, 3 grains of salt. That's how much it takes for a dose of fentanyl to become lethal. Learn more at realdealonfentanyl.com.
As soon as I kicked one of my buddies in the head, I was like, yeah, we got to go after
I take back what I said.
Hey, done for the day?
Yeah, just kind of maxed out on people.
Is there anything you wanted to talk about?
You know, thanks for asking. I have been feeling just kind of off lately.
Do you want me to
Concerned about a friend? Just ask and refer them to counseling and psychological services at UNL.
Welcome back, and nice job to everyone who guessed Sierra right, as we are now joined by Blake Mace and Abby McFarland for this week's edition of Around the Corn.
Welcome to Around the Corn. I'm Blake Mace, and joining me today is Abby McFarland.
Nebraska baseball opens up with its fall baseball schedule this weekend at home against University of Nebraska Omaha at 12 p.m. on Saturday, following the Red and White Series next week for October 13th through the 15th in Hawks Field at Haymarket Park.
Nebraska softball will play a total of 6 games at Bowlin Stadium. The Huskers will face Colorado State on Saturday and at 11 a.m. followed by their game against Omaha at 1:30 p.m. They will play Colorado State again on Sunday at 11 a.m. Now, Abby, what do you think Nebraska softball is going to do this year after they had a fantastic season last year?
Since they had an amazing season last year, I think they're going to have even a better season this year, and I'm so excited to go watch them play. Last Saturday, the Nebraska volleyball team kept its perfect season alive, sweeping Rutgers in front of a sold-out crowd in New Jersey. The top-ranked Huskers improved to 14-0 overall and 4-0 in the Big Ten play. Morgan Riley was named Big Ten Setter of the Week this past week for the performance. Nebraska is back in action tomorrow night against Purdue. Blake, what do you think the outcome is going to be this weekend for Nebraska volleyball?
Well, Purdue is ranked 12th in the country. They have 2 losses, but those 2 losses have come at home, and so I think Nebraska is going to be able to capitalize on this, and I think they'll be able to get a win.
I'm excited.
Nebraska soccer dropped its 3rd straight loss on Sunday following a 3-0 game on the road to Northwestern. The Huskers face Purdue on Thursday, and they will look to bounce back this Sunday at 1:05 p.m. against Maryland. That's all for Around the Corn. I'm Blake Mace, and joining me was Abby McFarland.
Thank you, Blake and Abby. Guys, the AVCA poll started in 1982. Since then, there have been 642 polls. How many of those polls have Nebraska been ranked in?
I'm going to guess at least 300. I'm going to go 350.
I'm going to go 638.
Justice, you were close. All of them. Since 1982, every single AVCA poll Nebraska has been ranked in. That was according to Lincoln Arneal in Nebraska Athletics. So if that's wrong, talk to those guys, not us. But 642 polls since 1982, Nebraska has been ranked in all of them. Turning back to football, Nebraska and Maryland not the only Big Ten game in action this weekend. Ohio State visits Illinois for a top 20 matchup in Champaign. UCLA with the upset of the day last weekend, looking to carry that momentum into East Lansing. Then it's the game of the day in the Big Ten as number 7 Indiana visits number 3 Oregon. Penn State looking to bounce back against Northwestern, and Iowa and Wisconsin as something has to give game in Madison, and a pair of blue bloods clash in the Coliseum as Michigan heads to USC. Coming up, Emma Liberta joins us in the studio for an update on former Huskers competing in the NFL.
Nebraska Nightly.
Nearly 1 in 3 Husker students struggle with food insecurity. Husker Pantry addresses food insecurity and a welcoming space by providing free food and personal items to UNL students in need. Due to high demand, the pantry often runs out of essential items. Help keep the pantry stocked by donating the most needed items. From canned food to personal items and cleaning supplies, you can make a difference by donating. Learn how to donate by visiting pantry.unl.edu.
Of the 40 million tons of plastic waste generated in the U.S. in 2021, only 5%, or 2 million tons, was recycled. Make sure you do your part in keeping Anderson Hall clean. For more information on recycling statistics, visit epa.gov today.
Unlimited Sports Preview Show, I'm Emma Liberta. As the NFL enters Week 6 of the regular season, many former Huskers are continuing to make an impact for their franchises. In Seattle last Sunday, former Husker Levante David picked off Sam Darnold to set up the Buccaneers for the game-winning field goal as time expired. Then, over in Indianapolis, Amir Abdullah scored a rushing touchdown against his former team as the Colts beat the Raiders 40-6. Other Huskers that had production during Week 5 were Malik Collins, who had 2 tackles and 2 sacks for the Browns. John Bullock had a special teams tackle for Tampa Bay. Luke Gifford had 4 tackles in the 49ers win over the Rams, and Cam Taylor-Britt had 2 tackles for the Bengals. That is all for the Huskers in the NFL. Trey, Justice, and Brady, back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Emma. Justice, most intriguing thing for you this afternoon in College Park?
I think the weather's going to play a big factor. 50% chance of rain today in College Park. It's going to be really tough for both teams to throw the football if that's the case. The running game, who wins the battle on the line of scrimmage? I think whoever can control that and can control the ground game probably takes this one in a tight one in College Park.
Brady, what about you?
I think for me it's the first time the Huskers are playing a Power 4 team who haven't really run the ball well, so I'm excited to see how that pass defense lines up.
Justice, score prediction for this afternoon?
I think Nebraska just squeaks this one out. I'll take a 28-24 win. They skate out of there by the tails of their butts out of College Park.
I think the Huskers win it 30-24.
I have Huskers in a low-scoring affair. I have them 28-17. I think they pull away late. I think that rain plays a huge factor. 65% chance in College Park this afternoon. It's big. That helps Nebraska because Maryland, they can't really run the football like Brady talked about earlier. If it comes kind of a sludge match, Nebraska kind of holds the advantage there. So should be a fun one regardless. 2 4-1 teams in a Big Ten Network game. Should be a lot of fun. Thank you for tuning into the Week 7 edition of the Limited Sports Preview Show. For Justice Rohde, Brady Alderson, our director Logan Eby, and his entire team working behind the scenes to make this all happen, I'm Trey Marler. Enjoy your college football Saturday.